And so we flew from Vietnam to China, and we saw this funny sign in the airport which we laughed at.
And yet, it's true. 20 years ago when Geoff and I were in China, lots of people would be laying down in train stations or airplanes, and there was a real difference, actually.
So we landed in Shanghai, and we met up with Dr. Yu, and right away that night we went out and saw the cool buildings, and we just happened to land on Lantern Fest thing. So all the buildings were lit up, and it was really pretty. And here is a picture of me and Natalie, Dr. Yu's assistant, with her cool AI tech earbud thing, so I could hear what she said because she didn't speak English.
It's 6 o'clock on the Bund in Shanghai. This side is putting on a show for the other side, which is the picturesque skyline. They're putting on a show for us.
We went multiple times to East Nanjing Road to see two of a lot of things, mainly the Lego store and the M&M store, which was a very big store and it had a lot of M&M stuff. Literally everything in the store was M&Ms. It was crazy.
Yeah, it feels kind of like a movie set, doesn't it?
A lot of people, a lot of screens.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of lights.
The whole reason we came to Shanghai was for Dad to do his eye treatments with Dr. Yu. And every day while he was in this hospital, we were out with my Uncle Luke, who we met there, doing fun stuff all over the place. It was different every day.
And here is a close-up picture of the TV tower, which we went in. And then this is video of the Lego TV tower.
Here we are at the top of the Pearl Tower, but it's Lego. In the Lego store, there were many massive structures made out of regular bricks.
And now here we are in the TV tower on the floor with the glass floor, which was really cool.
We are in the TV tower in Shanghai. It's the second highest tower in Shanghai. And it has this glass floor. So you can see how that's just fog. It's cloudy today. It's not pollution. At least it doesn't smell like pollution. It was pretty cool to walk on this glass floor. My brother's been working and living overseas for about 20 years, so he's an old pro at this. It was so nice for him to come up from Vietnam, where he was living recently, to meet us and take us all around. He introduced us to the metro system. We got pretty good at it. And then he took us to a whole bunch of places, like this water town that's called the Venice of Asia.
That's a famous area.
Yeah, in the world. Because that one on the postcard, international postcard before, to make the whole world, you know,
Right.
about it.
I think Westlake is on
Sample?
We went out one day to see the brutalist architecture, which is just cement, we learned. And here's a picture of me posing like all the other people there at the brutalist architecture.
One day, for our activity of the day, Uncle Luke, Mom, Julie, and I walked down to the Putong New area into a early spring blooming park. It was absolutely beautiful, and blue skies, and the buildings all surrounding were nice, and it was just a really lovely park. We had a great time.
after being here for a week, and we have been so impressed with this city. It is so clean. Blue sky days, no garbage on the ground, and of course there's lots of traffic, but they are all electric. Even the buses are electric. In fact, I think we've only seen 2 gas-powered vehicles. They were both trucks. Oh, wait, there's one. Aha! I caught one. It really makes the city so much calmer and more enjoyable when all the cars are quiet like this. It's lovely. And when we came to China 22 years ago, we didn't even come to Shanghai because we knew some people who worked here, and they said in 1 year there were 3 blue sky days. And here...
1 week, and this is our 3rd blue sky day in 1 week.
That's right. And the other days, they were just cloudy. They weren't polluted. It's just been such a pleasant surprise. China has actually really cleaned up. Exceeded expectations. They did a war on pollution apparently from 2013 to 2023, and it's really made a difference. Shanghai was such a pleasant surprise. We went there because we had to for Geoff's eye treatments, but really it was clean and quiet and beautiful, and we just really enjoyed our time there.
Here's a little shot of what some of the trains look like, and if you look on the screen, not the one with the kids, you can see that we are going pretty fast through the Chinese countryside. This is the Beijing Drum Tower. We walked past that spot a lot because our little hotel was very near there.
Okay, we are on the chairlift. And, Julie, how long did it take?
A long time!
A really long time! Because we're in China. There's Dad and Grayson. And there's big lineups everywhere. But now we're here, and it's amazing. Great Wall. On the way up to the Great Wall, and underneath us, we're going to be taking that toboggan on the way down. If the lineup's not too long.
This is a great photo. I love how you could see all the way on the distant mountains and hills, and you could still see the wall snaking along like a big lazy dragon across all of the rocky ridges. I couldn't believe we were actually on the Great Wall.
Being on the Great Wall of China was so cool, but it wasn't an easy meander along the top of the wall. There were a lot of stairs, so we did quite a bit of hiking to get up to almost the top. Obviously not the end of the wall because it's very, very long, and we learned a lot about the wall. Apparently it started out as just a whole bunch of little walls because the country of China was not a full country. And we learned a lot more, but I don't know all of it. Here's a picture of the metro lines, and you can see that it would look like an ant colony if you could see inside one of those. It was a pretty insane metro system, but it was really good, and we learned how to maneuver it very well. And by the end, we were really good at the metro system.
We went to the Forbidden City in Beijing, which in Chinese terms is actually quite new. It's been the home of the emperors for the last 500 years, since the Ming Dynasty. And it was called Forbidden because commoners were not allowed there. Everywhere in China we saw this. They have timepiece costumes that usually women rent and dress up and then walk around and take pictures of themselves, or they hire photographers to take pictures of them. So these empresses were everywhere we went.
So here's a picture of one of the train stations, just to put that into perspective, how long and wide it is. It's pretty much like an airport. This was an overnight train to Xi'an from Beijing, and this is what the inside of the train looked like in the actual overnight part. We had these cute little beds.
And this is the bell tower of Xi'an. We also walked past that one a lot because our hotel was also near that.
We also visited the giant Wild Goose Pagoda, built in 652. It's a Buddhist 7-story pagoda, one of the more famous sites in Xi'an. Another famous site is this old Muslim quarter, which Emily and I loved coming to way back in 2007. The streets look a lot different now. Gone are the old shops with the plastic chairs and the smoky barbecues. Looks a little more blingy.
So this is the Muslim quarter in Xi'an, where we came 22 years ago. It's a lot more blingy now, and a lot more restaurants and touristy. I'd say it's been discovered. So we're looking for the Jiaozitong restaurant that we loved, where we used to go with our friends. See if it's still here.
Almost 20 years ago, we had this favorite restaurant that we tried to find. We think we found it, or at least vestiges of it, and we enjoyed the meat on a stick, and we took a photo with the current owner of the store. Lots of good memories here.
Then we went to see the Terra Cotta Warriors. It was absolutely mind-boggling. There were 6,000 warriors and horses in this room. It was the biggest room.
We are at the Terra Cotta Warriors in Xi'an. This is the last day of the off-season. Can't you tell? Gee, there's hardly anybody here.
You can see there that those indentations in the rock, those were where the rotted away logs sat for the roof. So when the farmers found them, they were mostly like this. So they had to go through a very complicated gluing and reconstructing process to get to this state. And obviously some of them were still intact, but lots of them were demolished. So to get back to looking like this is incredible.
This is how the Terra Cotta Warriors were created.
看见了没有？看，所以兵马俑它是空心的，不是实心的。看两个，然后再把胳膊手拼接在一起上去，然后再去把它这个刻画出来。 因为它本身是土，是
Pretty cool. And then
湿的，然后就
fired in a kiln
看到了吧？啊，走。
at 1,000 degrees Celsius, so that they would be strong enough not to fall apart in the pits.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say we always enjoyed finding the cheapest and yummiest Chinese food restaurants around.
So Geoff and I lived in Xi'an in 2004 for 6 months and taught English there. And so we went back to our old neighborhood in Gaoxin and tried to find our apartment and places that we knew. And it had changed almost completely. Like the building where our school was has been taken down and rebuilt. What used to be just countryside is now endless high-rise apartment buildings. And this park, we are sure was not there, even though it had very established-looking trees. It was a nice addition, but it was really an important moment for us to realize how much China has changed in 20 years.
These signs were all throughout the park, and we thought they were pretty funny.
We found that the little hole-in-the-wall local restaurants always had the best food in the city.
One of our favorite parts of Xi'an is this massive city wall that rings the city center. Earliest fortifications here were 194 BC, but it wasn't until the 1300s in the Ming Dynasty that the wall, and it looked like this, the rammed earth type of wall, was built. And then it was improved again later in the 1500s and with blue bricks, making it closer to what it looks like today, which is still a massive fortification. Here's a map of all the different gates and how it goes all around the inner part of the city.
Here we are, biking the city wall of Xi'an. It was quite bumpy in some parts because it was cobblestone, but it was really cool to be so high up and on bikes. And it was also really windy, so our hair was a little windblown.
Here we are on the old city wall in Xi'an with the new city growing up right behind it. We rented some bikes and we're biking along the wall. That's where we came from. It's 13.74 kilometers long and a well-preserved wall, apparently the most well-preserved wall in China, maybe in the world, depending on the sign you read. This is their moat. It was first built, this wall, in around 580 AD and then redone in the Ming Dynasty, which was around 1300s. And then in the 1980s, the people said we should take down this wall because it's in the way. And instead the mayor said, no, I think we should rebuild it. So he had mandatory work parties with every citizen in the city to rebuild it. And now it is the best preserved ancient city wall in the country. There's Grayson.
From Xi'an, we took another train over to the capital of Sichuan province, Chengdu. And the reason you come to Chengdu is pandas.
We are in Chengdu here to see the pandas, along with a million other people.
It's a good thing we arrived early to meet the crowds.
This is pretty much almost as early as we could get here. There are just people everywhere in China, no matter where we go or what we see. It's incredible.
This site had changed a lot since 2007 when we were there last. Way more people, much larger site, and way more pandas, and a lot more natural spaces like this lovely bamboo grove behind us.
Okay, here we are at the panda sanctuary. Here's a panda, giant panda, eating bamboo. This is his active time of the day. He's very active. It's about as active as he gets. Pandas sleep for 14 hours a day, and they're active for only 10. And I think the majority of that is eating, because it takes them a long time to eat. He's not doing much. He's sitting back, and then he gets up every now and then to get another bunch of bamboo, and then he sits back down again. They're pretty cute though.
Yeah, these humans are down here getting some food out for them. And our little baby panda is trying to rouse himself. Go get some food, but he just keeps laying back down and watching them.
It's just so comfortable out there on those logs. Or maybe he's stuck. We're thinking he's stuck.
He might be stuck.
He might be stuck. His foot might be a little stuck in there. Oh, I got it out. Oh, not stuck.
Not stuck, just lazy.
Yeah. Oh yes, one rung down.
It's like sliding down the rungs.
2 rungs down, 3 to go. What is happening? Oh. You can do it. You can do it. So cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, she made it.
Made it.
Yay.
你看那个熊猫妈妈这次加餐哈，加的是橘水，熊猫最喜欢吃。
Hey, made it. Found the bamboo. Good job, buddy.
So they had 2 kind of pandas in this park, and as you can tell, they were really, really cute. So they had the regular kind of panda, and they had red pandas, which are actually not pandas, but they were also adorable. And there were quite a few enclosures with them, but they had a lot of space, and there were quite a few in the enclosures. So we got to see quite a few of them, actually. They were so cute. Red pandas are in danger and cannot run away immediately. They will stand up to make themselves look bigger to frighten the enemy. Look how frightening.
He's so scary.
He's so frightened. So frightened.
So frightening. Here we are at the Chengdu East train station. So there's 3 other train stations this big, and it's massive. It feels like an airport. China sure knows how to organize their train stations. It's awesome. The takeaway for Geoff and I in these mega cities of China was just how much growth has happened in the last 20 years. Shanghai, Beijing, Xi'an, Chengdu, they've all doubled since we were there 20 years ago. And China has made an explicit, intentional goal of creating domestic tourism, which you could really tell because there was a lot more Chinese tourists everywhere we went. And they have intentionally focused on creating urban centers. So they used to have about 40% of their people living in urban centers, and now they've got 68%. So the cities have really grown, and the idea is that it's more centralized, so you can provide more services for many people. Anyway, it's just really interesting to see the changes in 20 years. And overall, it was really uplifting. I think 20 years ago, the pollution in China broke my heart. And seeing now the positive changes in cleanliness, at least in these cities, was really uplifting.